Hey everyone, in this video I'll be talking about Shopify payments. So I will be just running down everything you need to know about Shopify payments, what it is, the fees, who can use it, who cannot use it, and just pretty much around everything that you need to know about it. So to start off, Shopify payments is pretty much Shopify is pretty much their own payment gateway that they use. So obviously you would need to have a Shopify account in order to use it. It's basically what you will be using to receive payments, but it's a method that's only for Shopify. That's just simply put, Shopify payments. So if we read here, Shopify payments is the simplest way to accept payments online. It eliminates the hassle of setting up third-party payment provider or merchant account and having to enter stuff into Shopify. So as you can read, it's just very simple to set up, which I will also show you in this video. It's just it just makes things a lot easier and straightforward instead of actually having to set up third-party gateways or processings for payments. You can just use Shopify's own gateway. Simple as that. So instead of just scrolling down here and seeing things for ourselves, let's actually first show you how to set up your Shopify payments. So if we go to our Shopify dashboard, this is what you will pretty much see when you create your account. This is a dummy account for this specific example, but you should see this dashboard. To start setting Shopify payments, you just simply need to go to the bottom left settings. Once you click on settings, you simply just find the payments option. It should be on the left. There it is. So payments, you just click on that. And then from here, you will find all different type of payments where you can just add payment methods. And these are going to pretty much be the third party gateways that we can set up, but we don't want that today. We want Shopify payments. You should find it at the top here, and you simply just click on activate Shopify payments, and then from here you just enter your name, last name, address, and then obviously the rest of the information here. And if it's a registered business, you need to check this, and then you just click next, and it's going to be simple from there. I'm not going to personally do it for this account, but I'm just trying to show you. If you don't see this option, so if you don't see Shopify payments, either there's an error that you may want to look up, or you are not eligible for Shopify payments, and I will show you what I mean in a sec when I open my trusty notepad that I have just created. So not everyone can use Shopify payments, and I will show you in a sec. Like as you can see here, supported countries. But let's start up top. So Shopify payments. Shopify payments is a payment processor. It serves you to accept payments without having to set up a third-party payment provider, like we said already. So to make it simple, after a customer purchases and pays for an order using Shopify payments or Shopify payment checkout, it will get transferred to the payout bank account that you add to your Shopify payments. And you will get your money this way. It's very straightforward and simple. Now, I told you not everyone is eligible for Shopify payments, and one of these reasons is if you're not in these supported countries. So we've got Australia, Austria, Belgium, United Kingdom, United States, Switzerland, all of these countries. If you're not in any of these countries, you can just take a moment to locate yourself. And if you're not in one of them, you will not be eligible to use Shopify payments, unfortunately. However, there's an alternative. I will get to it, so stick with me. But let's read. If you're in one of these if you're in one of these countries, I mean here, if you're not in one of these countries, Those countries, you will need to use one of the other payment processes. Shopify provides hundreds of them. There's literally hundreds of them to choose from. But the rest of the things that I'll be saying about fees and stuff wouldn't really apply. I will talk about fees for these third party gateways as well. So stick with me regardless. Shopify payments also won't be available for certain business categories. So it's not just the countries that are supported. You could be in the United States and still not be able to use Shopify payments if your business category is prohibited. So you will need to check for yourself because each country has its own list of prohibited business types. Just to make things a little bit clearer, it's stuff like about like gambling businesses, drugs, that kind of thing. You will not be. You will need to opt in for different payment process that would accept you. But you would need to check before you start the list of prohibited business types for your certain specific country that you are in. So let's actually get to the nitty gritty here. So the pricing and fees. The Shopify payments, Shopify payments does not require you to I can't read today, does require you to have access to Shopify. So subscribing to one of the Shopify's plans is needed. This is the first price point, or the thing that we need to pay for comes in here. So we obviously need to subscribe to one of the plans, otherwise we can't really use it. So these are the plans: starter plan for 15, basic 32, Shopify plan for 92, and the advanced plan for 399. And keep in mind, each plan is going to be different, a little bit different when it comes to fees. Just bear with me here. But so the first thing you would need to pay for is obviously Shopify itself. Next, Shopify payments does not charge extra fees for transactions. So Shopify payments is pretty much free, but there's something that you need to keep in mind, is that you need to keep in mind that standard credit card processing fees will be required. So these are not Shopify's payments fees. Shopify payments doesn't really have fees, but it's the standard credit card processing fees. So it's just like generally required from anywhere really. So it's outside of the scope of Shopify payments. It's the processors that charge this. So it's not necessarily Shopify payments that charges this fee. Okay, so let's talk about the rates for these credit card processing fees that we just talked about. So generally speaking, processors charge most of the time 2.9% plus $0.30. And Shopify does give you better rates the higher your plan is. So if you subscribe to a higher or higher tier plan, like we will see here, the rates are going to be better for you for these transactions. Like, let's read here. Plan rates. Basic Shopify will give you 2.9 plus 0.30. So it's pretty much the same for every online transaction, but for in-person, it's going to be less. It's going to be 2.7% and $0 for in-person payments. Now, the Shopify plan does provide 2.6% and 0.30 for online. We've got 2.5% and $0 for in-person. Advanced Shopify, 2.4% and $0.30 for online, and then we've got 2.4% and $0 for in-person. So as you can see, the higher your plan is, the better the rate is. We need to keep in mind other fees as well, like currency conversion fee, which is going to basically be 1.5 for stores in the US. So if your store is in the US, it's going to be 1.5% the currency conversion fee, and for all other countries and regions, it's going to be 2%. Great. So for the returns, it doesn't really charge anything. Shopify payments, it doesn't charge anything for returns, but you will have to obviously pay the credit card transaction fees that we talked about, and it's not going to be refunded. Okay. So for chargebacks, let's talk about chargeback. A chargeback occurs when a customer questions a credit card transaction and asks their bank to reverse it. In this case, they charge around $15 per chargeback. And if you win the dispute when it comes to chargebacks, it will be refunded. So it's just to make sure things are going nicely, really. And then we also need to keep in mind the currency conversion market rate because it changes on the regular. It could like make a little bit of a difference. So let's talk about Shopify payments versus other third-party gateways that we can use. So if your country is not supported, you can't really use Shopify payments. What do you have to pay for, and what are the fees? Shopify does apply fees for transactions if you have Shopify payments disabled. So if you're not using Shopify payments, you will be, or Shopify will charge fees for that, for these transactions. So these fees differ depending on the plan you are subscribed to. So for the basic Shopify is going to be 2%, Shopify plan 1%, and then advanced Shopify is going to be 0 or 0.5%. Now keep in mind that if Shopify payments is enabled, even if you offer multiple payment methods, these fees won't apply to any of them. It's only applied if Shopify payments is not one of them, if it's disabled. So let me rephrase this and just give you an example. If you have, for example, both two options, you got Shopify payments and you've got PayPal, and maybe the customer decides to use PayPal for this time. A charge fee like these three, depending on your plan, will not be charged because you do have Shopify payments enabled. But if you have only, for example, PayPal enabled and this disabled, then these charges will apply. I hope this video made things clear for you when it comes to Shopify payments, and now that you understand more, hopefully this video helped you. And just that's all I have to say for you. And yeah, thanks for watching.